I've been in Annapolis now for like 6 months, and one of the boats that caught my eye was this old fishing boat. I think it's a Trojan, but I'm not for sure, but I think it is. So there it is, and it's an old school boat. I want to show you guys what you can, what you can do to an old boat to make it really nice. So let's go take a look. All right, so this is a fishing boat. So you just take it out and go fishing out, pleasure fishing boat. Look inside there and look at the teak. The whole floor has brand new teak on it. The whole rim around this whole area. Bring that up to here. Look at those teak decks. Look at those teak decks. It's beautiful. And then you can tell it's old, so if you can look down in there and get inside there and look inside the boat. It's just an old cabin cruiser, like an old cabin cruiser I had. It looks just like it, but it's just bigger and nicer. I think this model is probably around a 67, 68 maybe, but it's like a diamond in the rough, I think, like an old barn find. And I can't find another example of a boat that age that's so nice. And I couldn't get inside the boat because it's not my boat. But I could look into the windows and I can tell that all the interior, all the old cushions were all original. And they look brand new in there. And so I'm going to take you to a place to where most boats like this end up, at an old boat graveyard. So let's go take a look at this place. So it's Shelly's lucky day. She doesn't like bridges. So every time we go across, I always make her videotape it. And she don't
I don't want to do it.
She don't want to do it. So we go across, we make it across. And that's going over the canal. So there's bridges, probably like 5 or 6 bridges that go over that canal as you go towards the Chesapeake and up to the Delaware. Now that right there is an old Sea Ray. I had a boat just like it. And so let's take a look at some of these old boats. So this is the first boat that caught my eye. And I think it's a Sparkman's and Stevens sailboat. But you can tell that's an older boat from the 60s because of the way the rudder's still attached to the keel. And there was a guy named Bill Lapsworth that designed a boat called the Cal 40. And he had shortened up that keel and made the rudder attached to the back of the boat. And it won a lot of races, and that design fell to the wayside. So let's go take a look. Well, right there you can see how the rudder was attached to the back. But let's go get a bird's eye view of this yard. This marina is located at the entrance to the C&D Canal on the Chesapeake side, or close to it. But I think it started out as a shipyard, and then it became the largest dealership for holiday mansion houseboats in the United States. And that was probably, I don't know, probably back in the 60s. But if you're from Missouri, you've seen holiday mansions all over the lakes around there. All right, just for fun, this is an old Trojan 44 that nobody ever took care of. You've seen the graveyard. So this one's sitting out here, and I guess it used to, somebody owned it somewhere up the canal, and they didn't want it anymore. So the guy paid $5 for it and drug it over here because I guess he must be addicted to boats. And when they were dragging it over here, they hit a piling because this area, the tide goes up and down, it gets shallow. So a lot of these boats are sitting on the water. So when the high tide comes in, it's probably 6 foot, 7 foot. And then when it drops, it's like 2 foot. So This one has a hole in it and the pump's going, so I guess they patched it a little bit, fix it, and they got a pump running all the time. So let's run around and take a look at this boat. I think the boat's haunted. I don't know. But I think the guy, if you'd seen Dad look down in there, there's 2 Yanmar motors, 2 diesel Yanmars. So that's the value of the boat right there. And I'm sure he got it for free. So, this is where all the boats come to die. So I guess at some point somebody's going to come and they're going to drag, when the tide comes, they'll drag it over and pick it up, put it in the yard somewhere, and then they'll strip it down for the diesel and whatever other parts they can get off. So that's the end of the video, and that's what happens when you don't take care of your boats. You end up like this in the graveyard.